Unlearning and the Power of Subtraction. So, for today's topic about unlearning, it contrasts the pursuit of external knowledge with the pursuit of the Tao De Ching, right? Teaching that true mastery comes from letting go rather than constantly adding. So in this day and age world, we have a lot of those old school about sitting in a classroom that we always have to learn from a teacher, and nowadays also online learning, that we have to keep adding and adding and adding in order to apply. It's not true. That was in the industrial age, and it hasn't changed that much. So what I want to share with you today is how you can unlearn and then relearn. Because the Tao Te Ching explains a long time ago in chapter 48 that how the path of spiritual wisdom diverges fundamentally from the path of worldly education. There is a core paradox here. In the pursuit of knowledge, every day something is added. In practice of the Tao Te Ching, every day something has to be dropped or subtracted. So it's like peeling up an onion. In the old days, we always think that learning is always from a book or maybe from a teacher, etc. That is not 100% true. Because true wisdom also comes from experiences, from the wisdom that you have learned in this day and age, where a lot of things has been changed dramatically. And we keep telling the kids now to memorize stuff, and that's not good. Because the computer can even memorize much better than a normal human. And also calculating faster. Even nowadays, computer can also do that faster. Robots can do a lot of things faster. That's why we have so many technological revolution. So there is something that we can learn from this chapter. Because the process of lessening by dropping desires, biases, and rigid concepts on a daily basis, you arrive at a so-called the Wu Wei, action through inaction, or basically effortless action. So basically you don't do things that doesn't matter, so that you don't waste your energy. You preserve your energy. So the ultimate power here is by doing nothing, nothing is left undone. Lao Tzu states that the world is won by letting things take their natural course. So not by forcing things, manipulating things, or over-controlling it. So for today I'm going to tell you two parts. One is how to apply that in a personal setting, and the other is in a professional or business setting. So in a personal setting, think about your quality of the clothes and shoes. It's better to have that than the quantity of the clothes or shoes that you're going to buy. Because you can buy maybe a 10 pair of quantity, cheap shoes that will last maybe a year or less. Or you can buy 2 pairs of shoes that can be lasting for more than 5 to 10 years, possibly. Like a leather shoes, anything. So I will say that at least you save up some money to buy quality over quantity. And that is also the same with the thinking of the Wu Wei. That not so much about the quantity, but on the quality of the things that you want to do, so you don't waste your energy on. So another thing is leaving every furniture. What I've done when I was moving from a country to another country, I didn't really going to sell my furniture or my computers or my stereos back then, like music, audios, or even television. I just gave it all away. And I have only one luggage, exactly telling you the truth. That one luggage with the most essential things that I need, and then I moved to a different country, from country A to country B. Without fuzzing around about, shall I send all my belongings now from country A to country B? That's tremendous headache. and I tell you the truth, it's a relief. And back then I didn't know about the Tao Te Ching, by the way. So it does have some impact that I want to say. That in this world, you have to try to see what you can subtract, not so much what you can add. Because in the end of the day, you have to empty your mind. And the only way to do that is really practice what you preach. That you really do it physically as well, not only mentally, to let go of the stuff that you don't really use anymore, that it doesn't matter anymore. Okay? So I'm going to go back to this one soon. But let's go further about the personal stuff. So unlearn harmful beliefs. Instead of trying to learn new self-help hacks, nowadays a lot of people like to learn some improvement on YouTube or other media, which is good. But there's too many people there too many opinions. One person say this and the other person say that, and sometimes it's contradict with your view. So focus on dropping old toxic stories that you tell yourself first. Okay, such as you have to be perfect and everything you have to do has to be perfection, right? No, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do anything on a perfectional way, or anything grudges that you have in the past, or the need to always be right. Because remember this one about the thoughts, not what because you think is because that is right or the truth. Okay, so everything you think about is not always the truth, and it's up to you now to find the truth. The second thing is embrace minimalist living. Like I said earlier, subtract physical clutter from your home and mental clutter from your schedule. Try to say no as much as possible to obligations that do not align with your peace, especially your inner peace. So sometimes you see that people ping you with some suggestion to have lunch or coffee break or anything, and it doesn't align with your inner peace, then just ignore it or just say apologies, I'm very busy now, which is busy with yourself. Having some really quality time also with the people around you. So let go of control is a very important one. So stop trying to micromanage the people around you, like your partner or your children or your friends and family. So allow the people around you and the situations to unfold naturally, which reduces anxiety and deepens the relationship. So it's like talking to yourself. It's very important. Some people say, can you give me tips about how you're so confident to talk behind the camera or anyone? It's because you have to see the person or the camera in front of you like yourself. Are you going to lie to yourself? No. So you have to tell the truth to the people, to the camera, and the sharing that you want to share around the world. Then people will innerly feel it, regardless if they don't see you in person. Alright, that's very important. So in business life, how does it work? Let's say nowadays a lot of people knows about Google search, right? When you open Google, what do you see? You see only Google and then the search box. That's it. That is because it's really also a reminder for a lot of people that before Google we have Yahoo. Yahoo has a lot of stuff on their website a long time ago. You have search, you have email, you have advertisement, you have a lot of things, the news, etc. So what Google did very smart is just focus on one. Whenever people hear about the word Google, they know it's only search. And that's why they have a big market share. Of course, there's a lot of other attributes as well to get the market share. But essentially, it's also the user-friendly. Very important. So in business life, let's go to that, is the power of subtraction. So streamline your business by cutting underperforming product or services. Let's say like redundancy software, right, that we overly use. Or maybe complex internal processes. So focus entirely on what truly works. It's very important. And stop doing what doesn't work. The second one is avoid feature creep. What does it mean? When developing a product or service, resist the urge to constantly add new features. Like I said, the Google and Yahoo example, right? So true genius here lies in making things simpler and more intuitive for the user, like user-friendly. It's like Einstein said very famously that try to make things simple, but not simpler. Otherwise, it's too complicated. So the third one is autonomy over micromanagement. Win your team's trust by stepping back. So when leaders stop forcing everyday detail, like helicopter bosses or employers, I call them, and let employees take the ownership, the business naturally operates more efficiently and effortlessly. So all in all about this chapter 48 is try to let go. The famous music of Frozen, let it go. Good luck. Thank you so much.